it's probably Sharon. Where am I? Hey, it's probably Sharon. Welcome to my channel. I'm doing something a little different today. I always wonder what other creators look like when I only see their hands. So I thought I would show my face today. So that's a little different. And I'm also doing a different type of video. I'm going to show you how to make labels for your junk journal. So if there's a specific quote that you like, or you want to put your name in print and use it as a label, and you can't find it online, you can't find it on Etsy, I'm going to show you how you can create your own words to put in your junk journal. We're going to do it in Canva. We're going to use the free program of Canva, so it's free. And all you need is a computer and access to a printer, whether it's at the library, at your home, or your friend's house, whatever. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to go through it slowly. It's not intimidating. I will try to walk you through everything so you can understand and make it happen. So welcome to my yard. Welcome to Utah. Let's get to it.
Okay, so the first thing that you'll want to do is go to your computer and go to Google or Bing or Safari, whatever it is, and you're going to look up in the search bar Canva, C-A-N-V-A. You should see something like this once you search for Canva. I want you to go down to where it says download for free. Go ahead and click on that and download it to your computer. Once it is downloaded, go ahead and open up that program, and then you should see something like this. So you'll have your page, or your blank paper or whatever, and then a bunch of stuff over here to the left. So what I want you to do now is go to where it says File, click there, and then go to where it says Create New Design. Then go to Custom Size, and mine's already filled in, but normally it will come up with blank boxes, and it will have, I think, the PX selected. So what I want you to do is go to the units and select inches, and then put in the width and the height of the paper that you're going to be printing on. The reason I'm showing you this is because not everybody is in the United States and has the same size of paper as I do, so I want you to know where to go to select the size of paper that you need for your little project. Then once you have the dimensions in, click Create New Design. Okay, so at this point, if you want to give your name or your project a name, go ahead and just go to the top of the screen and click where it says Untitled Design, and just type in whatever it is you want to name your project. Okay, so this video is about how to create text or little sayings that you can print off and put into your junk journal. So what I want you to do now is go to the left side of your screen and select text. Then select Add a Text Box. And side note, I know there's multiple ways to do this, but I thought just showing one way would be easier than several ways and getting all confused. So just go ahead and select Add Text Box. And then you'll see once I select that, I now have this little blue box on my page that says your paragraph text. So while it's still blue, I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. While it's blue like this, you can go ahead and type in whatever word or phrase or whatever it is you want to type. If for some reason you clicked away from it and it's not blue anymore, all you need to do is double click on it again, and it will highlight it all blue, and you'll be able to type whatever word that you want to put there. So I'll type in beautiful. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so we can see it together. Okay, so that looks great, but I want a different font. So I'm going to select it so it has this purple frame around it, And then I'm going to go up here where it says Canva Sans. And when I highlight, or when I go over this box, you'll see it says font. So click the little down arrow or caret, and then you'll see all these different fonts appear on the left side of your screen. So we can scroll through and look what different fonts we might want to use from here, or there's also an option here at the top where it has handwriting, corporate, display. It has different categories. And there's one that says vintage. I'm going to go ahead and select vintage. Now you'll see some of these fonts have little crowns by them, and that means that it is not the free version. So if you're using the free version, you're not going to be able to use any of the fonts that have a crown by it. But there are plenty of free ones without the crown, as you can see. So one of my favorite, lately anyway, one of my favorite fonts is this one, EFCO Berkshire. So I'm going to select that one. And you'll see when I select that, it changed my beautiful text to a different font. So that's kind of a vintage looking font. I really like it. There's another one that I really like too. It's called March something. I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. It's like March. I don't know. Oh, right here. March Rough. So it looks like a stamp. To me anyway, it looks like you had a stamp that said beautiful and you stamped it on the paper, because it's kind of, it's not solid black. It's kind of, yeah, it looks like a stamp. I really like that one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this one. Okay, so that's great. So when I'm trying to do a page of a bunch of different words that I want to use in my journals, I usually try to line it up by like columns and rows so that after it's printed, it's easy to cut out with my paper trimmer. I can just, you know, cut right down the lines and it's all cut up and ready to go. And I also like to leave a little bit of space so I can do some inking around the edges if I want to. So let me kind of show you how that is. My printer, it likes you to have a 1/2 inch margin on the top, bottom, and sides. I don't know if the printer you're using is like that, but I am going to set this up as if I'm going to use my printer. So you can use the little rulers up here at the top and here at the side and make sure that you have, you know, a 1/2 inch about margin. Now, if I want to make this smaller, all I need to do is just click with my mouse and hold the button down right when I'm on top of that circle or this circle or this line. I'm just going to hold my mouse button down and I can make that bigger or smaller. So another way to do it is, as long as it's highlighted as it is here, you can also go up here and this will change the size of the font. So I can click the minus and it will make it smaller, or the plus will make it bigger. Or if I want to, I can just go ahead and if I know the number that I want, I can go ahead and just type it right in there. Okay, so if I want to have several, you know, I want a whole row that says beautiful. So I want to copy and paste this so I don't have to redo it every time. To copy and paste, there's a couple ways to do it. You can, with your mouse, you can use the right mouse button and then select copy and then do the right mouse button again and then paste. Oh, that must have been from my last project. Hold on, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Okay, copy, paste. So you'll see if I just drag it around by holding down my mouse button, I can line that up with that first word. It will show me, see, it shows me a little like guidelines. And to keep in mind that we're going to be cutting this out and possibly inking around the edges, we want to give it a little bit of space between the words. So if I want to paste another one, just go ahead and do that. You can also use Control C for copy and Control V as in Victor for paste. You can do it that way as well. On a Mac, I'm not sure how to copy and paste, so I apologize for that. So when we're dragging this around, it's showing us that we're all lined up with the previous words, and it's also, when we get the exact same distance, it's showing us, look, there's the same distance between all of these words. But I think I don't know if that's giving me a ½ inch or not. I think it is. Okay. So that's great. So now we want to do another, maybe we want to do a different word. Instead of doing the add text box, I'm just going to paste again. And then double click on that word. And then I can type in whatever other word I want to use. So when I change the word though, you can see how it's smaller width-wise than this one is. So I actually want to drag this over to make sure it's actually lined up with the first of that word with beautiful. So you can see they're lined up now because it shows me the little pink line. So if I want to put that a couple more times in this row, I can just paste and then drag those into position so they're lined up with the upper row and the word before it, like so. Okay, so we can continue to do that. Put your favorite words in the lines and rows. I like to do like a full page of just single words like that, so they're all easy to cut apart. But since I'm wanting to show you a couple of other things, I'm going to use this paper to show you those things as well. So now I'm going to do add text box again. And make that big so you can see it. So this time maybe I want to do a phrase. So life is a journey, not a race. Okay, so that's great. Maybe I want to change the font on this one. So I'll just make sure that that is highlighted. I've clicked on it. Now I'm going to look at my fonts. Make sure I choose one that doesn't have a crown by it. No. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is really great, but I kind of don't like that has a huge space between the two lines, right? So if you want to fix that, there's an easy way to do that. Make sure that it's highlighted as it is. Then go to the top of the screen, and there's this, it has 3 lines and then an arrow that goes up and down, and it's called spacing. If you go ahead and click on that, this will give you the option to either put spacing between the letters, just the spacing, or the line spacing, so you can make a bigger gap or a smaller gap. So that looks good right there. So of course you can put greater or smaller distances in the single words as well. So you'll put that here. Okay, so I want to show you another thing. I didn't know if I wanted to go this far because I don't want it to get too confusing, but if you want to put like a label or a border around your words or phrases, you can simply go to Elements and then type in what you're looking for. Like I looked for vintage frames, and then it's going to pull up all the vintage frames that it has. So I'm going to go to the section that says graphics. You'll see there's one that says frames, And then there's graphics and there's photos. I'm going to go to the graphics one and say see all. So again, anything with a crown is the paid subscription. So look for the stuff that doesn't have a crown by it. So there's a lot of different ones. I mean, you could keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's really a lot in here to choose from. But if you wanted to do a frame, let's say, oh, I don't know. That one's kind of cool. So this frame, say I want it sideways. I don't want it going up and down. To adjust that, or to kind of spin the image, go ahead and click on this little circle down here with the arrows that go around. Just click on that and you're able to drag it and tip it, twist it, whatever way you want. And then you can add text in the middle of it. Well, just like, I'm just going to do a paste in there. So you could just put words in the middle of there, and it helps you center it and everything. Shows those little dashed lines, shows you when it's centered. So you could put a phrase or a word or really anything. But yeah, there's a lot of different frames. I mean, look through all the graphics. I mean, this is just frames, right? Antique frames or vintage frames. There's so many things. There's backgrounds. I mean, if you just get in here and play around with all the free stuff, you would be really surprised, I think. And the more you play with it, the better you get to know it and the better you'll be at running it. So, okay, so once you get a whole page full of your different words and phrases, you know what else you can do is numbers. You know, it doesn't have to be words. You know, numbers are popular too. They have number 341 or whatever. You could do that as well. Instead of letters, just put numbers. So that's another idea. Once you get a whole page full and you want to maybe move on to a second page, there's an option down here at the bottom that just says add page. So that's all you have to do is click on that and you can start a second page and a third page and a fourth page and on and on. Once you get everything done and you're ready to save your work, you simply go to the top right corner, and I don't know if you can see this. I might have to make my screen smaller. Sorry about that. Okay, hopefully you can see that now. So up in the top right corner, go ahead and click share, and then you'll see an option down here that says download. Then you can select what kind of file you want to save it as. So you can do PNG, JPEG, you know, PDF, whatever you want. I normally do JPEG or PNG. So go ahead and select whatever it is you want to save it as, and then click download, and it will download that to your computer. Or, you know, when you're ready, you'll have it to print off. I guess if you needed to print it off at the library or a print shop or something like that, it probably would be a good idea to email the file to yourself, and then, you know, when you get to your friend's house or, you know, the library or whatever, you can just pull it up on your phone and print it off if they're connected to Wi-Fi. And then one more thing that I wanted to go over is, once I print things out, I like to copy dye them a lot of times. I have a laser jet printer. I don't know if an inkjet printer would be any different. I don't have any problem with the laser printing smudging or anything like that. If I print it off and I put coffee on it, I don't have any problem at all with my ink running. But you might want to test that out just to make sure your ink isn't going to run if you want to copy dye your papers after they're printed. I personally don't like to put coffee dyed paper through my printer after it's been coffee dyed. I want to put fresh paper in my printer and then coffee dye it after. So that's something to keep in mind. Just you want to check to make sure your ink won't smudge and things like that. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope this inspires a lot of you to create your own words and phrases and make your journals more your stuff, the stuff you love, the phrases you love, the words you use a lot. Incorporate that into your junk journals. I really hope I was able to help you all today, and thank you so much for staying until the end, and I will see you when I create my next video.